Hey guys, it's Tiff, and today I wanted to talk to you all about weeding out the yes people that's in your circle. You really have to be wary, you really have to be very strategic about not only who you go to advice for, but you have to be strategic about what you're telling certain individuals. Because we all know the right person to go to when we want to feel validated in our wrongdoing, when we want to feel justified in not making the most moral decisions. Because, number one, even if we do not know how to do the right thing, we know what the wrong thing is. So we may not have a distinct connection to the moral thing on the steps to get to the most moral answer for ourselves, but we do know what's not right, and we do know what's right, not necessarily by actions, but definitely by feeling. And it's called our intuition, it's called our moral compass, if you will. So you always know the right person to go to if you want the wrong advice. We all have those people in our circle. I call them yes men, yes people. We in a new age, girl power. So yes people. That's what I'm calling them. And those people are the ones who do not have your best interest at heart. And those people are the ones who lack compassion, because when you talk to them and they give you advice on what they think you should do based on their perspective, as opposed to what they think you should do from your own perspective. So we have two types of groups, and we have the tellers and we have the advisors. The tellers are the one that you let into your energetic circle, and you ask them for a certain type of advice, and they tell you what you should do. Oh, he did this to you or she did that to you, you should break up with her. That's the teller. The advisor is the one who approaches the situation not with statements like the teller does, but with questions. How do you feel? Do you still love him? Do you think there is any room for you two to grow in his or her infidelity? If you do, what do you want out of this situation? Are you happy? And that is how advisors approach you with advice. They don't tell you what you should do, they ask you what you think you should do in a strategic manner, so that way they don't come off as well, you told me to do this, and now look where I'm at. So kind of like that. But along with the yes men come the people who don't exactly have your best interest at heart. Not all the time people are very malicious. Not all the time. Some people do have ulterior motives, but sometimes people are just untrained. And what I mean by untrained is they don't act enough on their moral compass to accumulate experience, to accumulate a certain wisdom in order to be able to give you sound advice. And when you let people like that into your energetic field, say if you are trying to decide on two different jobs that you should get. I have both opportunities, but I need to know which opportunity is best for me. Not only are you giving them permission to have a certain power over you, automatically when you give someone advice, particularly good news or bad news, but I'm speaking in good news now about these two job opportunities that someone may have, hypothetically speaking, you have now given them permission, and they're subconsciously judging you. They're subconsciously thinking about your situation, on how they should tell you, what they should tell you, and why they are telling you certain things. So when you give someone the who, what, when, where, and why, and you say, what do I do with this? What you're doing is you are you are pretty much opening a portal to your energetic field. And when you do that, they now have control, a little control, depending on what you give them and depending on if you act on their advice. But they now have control of your destiny. Because what if you tell the one person that you weren't supposed to confide in about two different jobs, and yes, they tell you go for this job, but at the end of the day, or in the back on the back burner, in the subconscious mind, which is way more powerful than the conscious mind, they're like, I don't want her to have either job. I don't have a goddamn job myself. Why do I want her to have a job? Why do I want her to be happy? Meanwhile, I'm struggling to make ends meet, and she's coming to me with these problems about a job that she wants. But on the forefront and on the conscious mind, she's like, I'm so happy for you. You should take this job and that job, and you should do this and do that. And you don't understand that their feelings toward what you gave them permission to have feelings on can shift the law of attraction. The law of attraction can shift based on their opinion, because now you two have combined energies, and her subconscious energy is clashing with your subconscious energy. So the decision that you really, really want to make, it's kind of like the universe is confused and everything has to shift back to what you want. But now, in order to shift back to what you want out of this a situation that you're trying to attract, you have to do, whether you're doing it on a conscious or subconscious level, you have to do some energy clearing out of your auric field in order to recenter yourself, because you gave that person power. And those people are often considered, people call them haters, but those people are also the ones who you consider yes ma'am, and they're also yes men, not yes ma'am, but they're also considered yes people, and they're also the people who are the tellers. And it's the advisors who are the ones who will have your best interest at heart. And not all the time do advisors always have their stuff together, but at the same time, their heart is in the right place morally. And you want the advice of a person who will tell you sometimes what you don't want to hear. You want that advice. You don't always want the people. We always know who to go to for validation if we want to be wrong, but we also know who to go to for advice if we really, really want to know what we should do. And like I said, that's the advisors and the tellers. Weed out the tellers, and when I say weed out the tellers, be wary of who you share your personal business with. And if you're giving someone very critical information or very critical advice about your future or your present, then understand that you have to have a level of trust with them in order to instinctively determine, can I trust this person with this very critical information? Will this person pretty much shift or try to or attempt to shift what I have going on for myself? Like, that's why people keep so many things a secret. Even lottery winners, they don't tell everyone that they won a lottery, but that's why people keep things a secret. And you don't all the time know why. They think that, oh, I'm going to jinx it. But in reality, there is some truth to jinxing something if you let the wrong person know the right thing. There is a such thing as jinx, and what really that means is they could affect your energetic field by you open up that portal for them to enter it. So that's just what I wanted to tell you guys. Seek the advisors, weed out the yes people, and weed out the tellers. And you don't have to throw the whole person away, but I would just be aware of who you're telling your business to and how you're telling them. But that's all I wanted to say, and peace, love, and light.